unmuted or recording. I should grab water beforehand. Sorry, Gracie.
You should have. Did you say we're unmuted?
Yes.
So I can say whatever I want.
Within TOS.
TOS, more like POS.
Dang.
Take that, Bezos.
Take that, Bezos.
Yeah, I'm sure this will reach you in space.
You're not a real astronaut.
And if you were, you wouldn't be gnarly. That's a me joke.
Sure to check out twitch.tv/gnarlyastronaut.
Yeah, because I haven't streamed in months. I'm posting us in all of
Yeah. I was going to pull up Twitch on my phone.
Hey Gracie, are you gonna come hang out with us this early on? You're never up here this early. What was I doing? Oh, tweeting. Did you see that dude on Twitter that was like some like sports startup app that they were like, hey, if Trevor Lawrence throws a touchdown to Tim Tebow this year, we'll buy everyone who likes and retweets this a jersey of their choice.
Oh.
And it has like 40,000 retweets.
Oh, yeah. No, they're not going to do that.
Not one bit. I still didn't get the tweet out. I get distracted by talking about that tweet. Oh.
That's what scared you. I blew.
Nice.
All right, we ready to begin?
I mean, yeah.
So before the podcast started, right, we were talking about when the witchcraft times were, and when the pirate times were, and when the cowboy times were.
Did you start your cold open when I got here? Did you lay the groundworks for a cold open before we started?
Things just happened to work out well. All right.
Did you purposely
Cowboys
put
versus aliens happened to be on TV?
I don't believe that that's a coincidence anymore.
The Sci-Fi Channel. I have no influence over what they do.
Go ahead.
But there's one times in particular of those times that we spoke of that is of certain interest to me. It's gonna be the witchcraft times.
See, I thought it was gonna be the pirate time because you brought up pirate time for no reason.
No, that's legitimately my brain not being able to tell the difference between when those periods happened.
Oh, I also thought it was the Pirates of the Caribbean lady.
Oh yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, that's right.
So witch times? We're doing
the
witches?
witch times. So during the witch trials, right? Not necessarily the Salem ones, but also like
the actual ones.
Yeah, like across Europe, and later that spread into the continentals and all that.
Yeah.
But there was another hunt for beings going on at the same time.
The hunt for Red October?
It was not the hunt for Red October. They were also hunting very, very hard.
Communists.
Hunting werewolves.
Oh, hell yeah, dude.
So today on My Neighbor Mothman, we're going to talk about the origin and history of werewolves.
This is awesome.
Welcome to My Neighbor Mothman. I'm Levi.
I'm Zachary. Ooh.
I have a horrible...
Hey, what's the show about?
This show is about all sorts of spookies and creepies and oddities and that sort of thing.
Thank you.
Disclaimer, I have very bad allergies right now because apparently the West Coast is on fire.
Yeah.
And all that is spreading this way.
Sweet.
So I've been dying for like the last 3 days.
Isn't there like tornadoes in Michigan right now too?
Sure. Maybe.
I saw some TikToks about
I saw flooding in Michigan that was like knee deep.
Yeah. Knee deep or somewhere.
So you know, You gotta give me some slack here on this one because I don't feel good at all. And I got sunburned yesterday.
I can see that you're a little red.
I'm a little red.
What were you? Oh, you guys were tubing,
Yeah, we
right?
went tubing. Yeah, my belly real red. Not its reddest, but pretty red.
We should do a hot tub stream.
Hot tub stream. Yeah.
God, it'd be miserable.
It would. So, a werewolf.
Yes.
Which is Old English from werewolf, which means wolf, man wolf. Or occasionally lycanthrope, which is Greek for some Greek that I can't read, which means wolf human.
Okay.
Is a human with the ability to shapeshift into a wolf, either purposely or after being placed under a curse or affliction, often a bite or scratch from another werewolf, with the transformations occurring on the night of a full moon. This is a pretty bog standard werewolf fare.
There was a full moon 2 nights ago.
Interesting.
Anything to say about that new person on the podcast? Riveting.
No, yep, that'll do it.
Have we named this one?
No.
Has this one been here and I haven't noticed it?
It's been there since day one. No, that's we went to Disney, and that's a Wampa.
Yeah, you did. A Wampa?
Yeah. Uh-huh. 5? Episode 5?
Sure, I don't know. It was the
old
fever
ones. It's in
dream.
the old ones.
He's a pretty cool guy.
So the earliest sources for this ability or affliction, depending on how you want to look at it, not the t-shirts, is from 27 to 66 BC to 1150 to 1228 AD.
Werewolves back in the alleged Jesus times.
Mm-hmm. Pre-Jesus.
Now look.
Werewolves link back to the Nordic Viking times.
That makes sense. I don't know if you remember this, but about a month ago I went to church, and the pastor was talking about Vampire Diaries. I think
Cool.
he had just started watching the Vampire Diaries or something. And at one
It's
point,
a weird thing to bring up at church.
yeah, it was a weird area. But he said during his sermon at one point, "Now I'm not saying Jesus was a vampire."
Oh no.
And then he did not go the normal way you would go after the sentence of being like, but
yeah.
But he said that, and I did not listen to a single word for the rest of the sermon.
Couldn't think anything else, right?
I was like, do we know for sure that he wasn't? So now we're talking about werewolves. Man, look, if the Christians, if you want me on your side, I need the director's cut of the Bible that talks about Jesus having to fight off werewolves.
Yeah, that'd be a rat. Listen, marketing nowadays, Bible would be way more interesting.
Yeah, you remember?
It'd be all the hits. It'd be 60 pages of the raddest stuff you've ever seen.
Yeah, dude, doing like,
because
he'd be doing like airs off like a vert ramp.
You have to kit bash in the Old Testament in there, so you can get like David and Goliath and that sort of stuff.
David and Goliath now?
Mm-hmm.
What?
So I've got a couple places that we can start. This is a little bit of a choose your own adventure for werewolves.
I would just like to say one more thing about Jesus as a vampire.
Okay.
Let's remake Passion of the Christ.
Oh.
But let the dude who wrote Lincoln Vampire Hunter.
Yeah, Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter.
Let him write the script.
Yeah.
Right, go on with your thing now.
So we can start at the characteristics of a werewolf, becoming a werewolf, and then I have some like classical like
music
where they came from, and then like remedies. I figure your remedies would be towards the end.
Remedies?
Yeah.
I guess it makes sense. I guess surely someone's thought of that.
There's quite a few.
I don't know why you would. I could turn into a werewolf.
Well, that's a podcast topic for another show.
It probably wasn't a, hey, I don't want to be a werewolf anymore.
It's more of a, hey, we don't want you to be a
Yeah.
werewolf anymore.
That's fair. I was trying to think. I was like, who has the power to be a werewolf? And goes, this sucks.
Yeah.
Man, Michael J. Fox killed it. That movie would have
He's open.
That movie would have sucked if they fixed him.
So we'll start at characteristics, I guess.
Okay.
So the beliefs classed together under lycanthropy are far from uniform, and the term is just kind of used all over the place in ways that don't. That's a big moth. I saw that not that long ago.
Yeah, I just got an alert from r/Mothman on Reddit because it keeps suggesting things that I think I'd be interested in.
The forearm-sized moth for those.
Because I look at Reddit once every 4 months.
Yeah, same.
And it's just like, hey, we hear you talking about Mothman all the time. Do you want to look at it? And I'm like, no, think so.
Everyone has a different version of werewolf lycanthrope thing. There's not. It's the consistency is it's a person that turns into a wolf.
Yeah.
Right.
Pretty basic.
In some they are temporary, and others they're permanent.
Wait. Like you turn into one and you never come back to human?
You never come back.
That's honestly kind of more interesting.
Right? Transformations are temporary or permanent. The were animal may be the man himself metamorphosized, may be his double who actively lives the rest of the man's life out, or maybe his soul, which goes forth seeking whoever they may devour and leaves the body in a trance.
This has got a very like Venom feel to it.
Yeah, right?
Man, that's kind of cool actually. Hey, why you guys me cheese balls?
That's the size that they come in.
Nice.
Yeah. And Mom eats cheese balls constantly.
It's an interesting dietary habit.
Yeah, it's bad.
Yeah, I'm sure those aren't.
It's just freaking Cheetos.
I mean, I guess
Just eating a bunch of Cheetos.
but it looks like knockoff. It looks
They're
like
or Udies or however you.
they look like dollar store Cheetos.
Yeah.
Which I'm sure are made even cheaper than normal Cheetos.
There's even more air in them somehow.
Weird.
So, where was I? The soul goes forth seeking whomever it may devour, leaving the body in a state of trance, or it may be more messenger of the human being, a real animal, or a familiar spirit. These intimate connections, which is only shown by the fact that that doesn't make sense, and I wrote this bad.
Sounds about right.
Yeah, that happens sometimes. Okay. So werewolves said in European folklore to bear a telltale physical traits even in their human form. So even in human form you could tell, oh, that person's a werewolf.
I'm going to take a shot in the dark.
Mm-hmm.
Lots of hair. Maybe claws? Maybe teeth.
Yeah, kind of. Unibrow.
Anthony Davis, confirmed werewolf.
Curved fingernails, low set ears, and a swinging stride.
What does it mean?
I don't know. There's not a hyperlink to show what they're talking about. I assume.
Aren't most fingernails curved?
Yeah. All mine are rounded, I guess.
Mine would be if I didn't chew them. Are we all just werewolves?
It's possible.
No, I think I'm good.
One method of identifying werewolf in its human form was to cut them.
If they bleed green, they're a werewolf?
No, under the skin would be fur.
Well, that doesn't make sense.
Because, like in werewolf movies, a lot of times, which they don't have reference for that here, they would rip and the skin would tear, and then fur was underneath it.
I haven't watched a lot of werewolf movies.
I have American Werewolf in London. You should borrow it. It's a good one.
Isn't there someone famous in that?
Probably. It's from the the 80s.
I'm thinking of Interview with a Vampire.
That's got many famous people in it.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking of. I haven't seen either one.
A Russian superstition recalls a werewolf can be recognized by bristles under the tongue. I don't know.
You know that little thing that connects like your tongue to the bottom of your mouth? Yeah, I tore mine.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, it sucks.
Oh.
It's it hurts to do anything with my tongue.
Interesting.
Like you know when you're trying to like look at your tonsils and you do the thing?
Yeah.
Can't do it. It hurts.
Huh.
Cuz I'm stretching my tongue out too far.
I've never heard of it hurting for someone.
Mm-hmm. I've got a friend that ripped, because like I think mine's just kind of been torn for a long time.
Yeah.
I had a friend that like ripped his, like we were drunk doing something and it like ripped and like the whole piece just like came out.
Oh no.
And so now like he can't lift his tongue to like the roof of his mouth.
No.
Yeah, it's affected how he talks.
I would imagine so.
Bristles under the tongue. Do they mean like hair under the tongue?
I assume so.
Why?
I don't
Werewolves
know.
got hairy mouths?
I guess so. The appearance of a werewolf in its animal form varies from culture to culture, though it is most commonly portrayed as to being indistinguishable from ordinary wolves, except for the fact that it has no tail.
You might want to go check the stream. I just got 2 notifications that you went back live. Oh, you've got it pulled up.
I got it up over there. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I
wish we good.
I had 2 back-to-back notifications that you were going live. I was like, oh man, is it goofing?
I hope not.
New stream goofing?
New stream goofing. Where was I? European.
Yep.
Yep. Eyebrows. Russian tongue.
Nice.
No tail. A trait which is okay. So it has no tail. A trait thought characteristic of witches in animal form. Also.
Ooh.
It is often larger and retains human eyes and a voice. According to some Swedish accounts, a werewolf can be distinguished from a regular wolf by the fact that it would run on 3 legs, stretching the 4th one out backwards to look like a tail, to blend in with other wolves.
Kind of a side note, there are stray cats in my apartment complex.
Nice.
And people keep telling me that those cats have human eyes.
Yeah?
Like, apparently their eyes just kind of look human-y. Like, they won't let you get close enough to, like, pet them or anything.
Yeah.
Because I've tried.
That's how they steal you and trap you inside them.
Everyone was like, yeah, they're, like, they've got weirdly, like, human eyes. So maybe they're witches. Maybe they got a little witch trash cats.
Look at a little coven going on.
Yep, over in Athens, Georgia.
After returning to human forms, werewolves are usually documented as becoming weak, debilitated, and undergoing painful depression.
Hey, you know what that sounds like? Our entire friend group.
Yeah. What week is it? Who's it this week?
It's me every week.
We're a bunch of werewolves.
But we don't know about it. We're not cognizant of it.
Yeah.
So we don't even get the cool side effects of being a werewolf. We just get the bad ones.
In medieval Europe, it was believed the werewolves had a habit of devouring recently buried corpses.
I mean, that makes sense.
Which is a trait that is documented extensively in the Annals of Metapsychiatrics from the 19th century. I'm unfamiliar with this. I don't have a link to it. It's a book. All right.
I don't know how to read.
So, do we want to become a werewolf, or we want to hear some history first? All right, we're becoming a werewolf.
What kind of stupid question is that?
So there are various methods for becoming a werewolf that have been
Let me find a
reported.
piece of paper.
One of the simplest being the removal of clothing and putting on a belt made of wolf skin.
I'll do that right now. I'll do that on camera. You got any wolf skin?
I do not. No.
Guys, a stupid show.
What a bad house not having any wolf skins.
No, wolf skin. What is this? 1422. God.
In other
hunter
cases,
gatherer, my ass.
In other cases, the body is rubbed with a magic salve.
Got any of that?
I mean, I could sell you some. I could make something and say it is, because that's all that those were.
Man,
the hyperlink for that was to snake oil.
Hey, look, look, it happens.
Drinking rainwater out of the footprint of the animal in question from certain enchanted streams were also considered effectual modes of accomplishing metamorphosis.
So you'd have to find a werewolf footprint and drink rainwater out of it. That one seems the hardest out of the three so far,
right? Yeah, doesn't
one of them very easy, I would say.
Yeah.
Hey, get naked and wear a wolf belt.
Well, you got to find, authentic wolf skin.
Hey, man, I've seen that Liam Neeson movie, Just Crash a Plane and They'll Find You. What was that movie called? Gray?
Yeah.
Seen that one.
Yeah, I haven't seen that.
Hey,
I saw enough Liam Neeson. I'm good.
I say, yeah, it's Liam Neeson, but with wolves.
Yeah. The 16th century Swedish writer, Olaus Magnus, says that the Livonian werewolves were initiated by draining a cup of specially prepared beer and repeating a set formula. There's a new easiest one. Special beer.
I mean, if you think about it, though, that means two of them are basically just special beer.
Yeah.
Magic salve, pretty much just
special beer. You rub the salve on you. You don't drink
rub beer
salve.
on you?
Not usually.
Man,
how many have I had?
Maybe this is why I don't like beer. I think I'm doing it wrong.
Let's see. There's a similar thing in these songs of Russian people, which to that with the beer thing. In Italy, France, and Germany, it is said that a man or woman could turn into a werewolf if they, on a certain Wednesday or Friday, slept outside on a summer night with the full moon shining directly in their face.
These are all so easy except for one of them.
That's why there's so many werewolves.
Hey, look, all right.
Go camping during a weekday.
Be outside. All right. Side note. So, like, what if like on your 18th birthday you got superpowers and you waited your entire life for it, and the superpower you got is that you could drink things through your skin?
Sure.
Kind of suck, right?
Yeah. It'd be a cool party trick.
It would be a cool party trick.
You would, like, they'd let you into the X-Men mansion, but there would be no useful way for you to do anything with the X-Men.
Unless.
Go on.
You're basically just a sponge.
Yeah.
Lake monster? Oh, man. I don't know any X-Men villains. Dr. Oz.
Dr. Oz.
I meant Doc Ock, but Dr. Oz, TV personality. This guy's evil lair down in the Lake Lagoon. And oh man, here I come. I'm just gonna walk in there, soak it all up, baby.
I mean, yeah, I guess if you don't have like a maximum,
a cap, yeah.
Theoretically, then you could also
you're just a walking sponge.
You could also vomit from your skin then.
I mean, I guess.
Which is way grosser.
Yeah, I would not call that a superpower.
You haven't read enough comic books.
I haven't read any comic books because I'm not a nerd.
In other cases, transformation was supposedly accomplished, by a satanic allegiance, often for the sake of craving human flesh. Satan. Satan. Satin. Santa. We got there.
You heard it here first. Santa is a werewolf
And a cannibal.
and a cannibal, and he can drink liquids through his skin. I bet that can happen. Actually,
Yeah.
I bet there's some kind of weird medical condition out there that causes
That
that.
wouldn't surprise me. There are similar type creatures coming out of like West Africa and Central America that are along the same sort of lines of getting.
You turned that one off, right?
I did turn that one
Okay.
off.
Sorry, yeah, West
No, you're
Africa.
The curse of lycanthropy was also considered by some scholars as being a divine punishment. Werewolf literature shows many examples of gods or saints allegedly cursing those who invoked their wrath with lycanthropy.
Dude, what a cool way! What a cool way to serve your penalty.
Yeah.
Oh man. Oh man, I pissed off God. What did he do? Gave me cool wolf powers. Like, excuse me? Yes, please.
Well, I have an example here from a story of
Andrew WK confirmed werewolf.
Lycaon, who was turned into a wolf by Zeus as punishment for slaughtering one of his own sons and serving his remains to the god as a dinner.
I'll do that.
And those were also those who were excommunicated by the Roman Catholic Church were said to become werewolves. That might be the easiest one to do.
Oh man, piss off the Roman Catholics. Hey, you respected a woman. Werewolf.
Now,
right? Didn't the Roman Catholics? I feel like they had some problems with women.
Listen, yes.
I guess it doesn't have to be Roman Catholics, just Catholics. The Catholic Church seems to have a problem with a lot of people.
I skimmed over this earlier, but there were mentions
the entirety of Catholicism?
No, sorcerers and magicians and stuff that didn't. I don't really love the way that it's worded, but alongside them having powers of turning people into werewolves would also be the Christian saints. Could also do this.
Dude, if I knew someone at a church could turn me into a werewolf, I'd go to church every weekend. And I would introduce myself to 40 people every day to find the one that could do it. Next time I go to a church, I'll say, like, hey, which one of you guys is the werewolf one?
Yeah, which one of you can turn me into a werewolf?
And then I'll be thrown out. Which will then turn me into a werewolf. It's a win-win.
Yeah, right? So there's some Latin here that I'm not going to attempt, but it translates to all angels, good and bad, have the power of transmuting our bodies. Was the dictum of St. Thomas Aquinas. Man, words are hard.
That's a Pokemon.
Yeah. And St. Patrick was said to have transformed the Welsh king into a wolf.
Seems racist.
Yeah. Not well. A notable exception to the association of lycanthropy and the devil comes from a rare, lesser-known account of an 80-year-old man, Theseus, who in 1692 in Livonia testified under oath that werewolves were the hounds of God. He claimed that they were the warriors who went down into hell to battle the witches and demons.
That actually kind of sounds cool as hell.
Their efforts ensured that the devil and his minions did not carry off the grain from local failed crops down to hell. He was steadfast in his assertions, claiming that werewolves in Germany and Russia also did battle with the devil's minions in their own versions of hell, and insisted that when werewolves died, their souls were welcomed into heaven as a reward for their service.
What do you think German hell looks like? Yep, baiting you into that one.
Not touching that one.
Hey, I will say that would be such a cool movie.
Yeah. Yes.
Right? Like werewolves as agents of God. I'd watch that.
We've combined Constantine and Underworld.
Never seen either of them.
Constantine, Keanu Reeves movie. Fantastic.
You've sold me.
Underworld Kate Beckinsale.
Don't know who that is.
Hot lady. She's a vampire. She fights werewolves. That's the plot.
That sounds pretty cool.
The early 2000s, wild.
Do you want to know what 2 movies I haven't seen but I continuously mix up?
Yeah.
It's the Wesley Snipes vampire movie
Blade.
and Slade.
Slade, like the.
Is that not a movie?
Slade is the bad guy from Teen Titans.
Maybe I'm thinking of, I don't know.
Sling Blade?
Sling Blade. I mix those 2 movies up in my head all the time.
I can just picture Wesley Snipes right now going, French fried potatoes. That's Billy Bob Thornton is the main actor in Sling Blade. So I just want Billy Bob Thornton to fight vampires now.
Like, people used to like be like, "Oh man, you remember this scene from like Sling Blade?" And I'm like, man, Wesley Snipes did that?
No.
He really was desperate at that point, right?
I think he got I think Sling Blade got like Oscar nominations and stuff.
Yeah, but any quotes I've heard from Sling Blade do not sound like they would belong to Wesley Snipes.
Yeah, no, it's because they don't. They belong to Billy Bob Thornton.
Exactly.
The Thesis was ultimately sentenced to 10 lashes for his superstitious belief and ideology.
Man, I stand by that. Would be such a cool movie.
Yeah, no, it would be. It absolutely would be.
God's Not Dead 3, this time with werewolves.
We can't get into doing the jokes about that movie's title again.
Wait, have we done that before?
Not on recording.
Oh.
At one point we had, because they were putting movies back in theaters, like that at the beginning of the first round of movie theaters could open back up.
Yeah.
And they put Die Hard and God's Not Dead in theaters.
Oh no.
And we're like, oh, here we go. This is free. This is free.
Yeah, free jokes. Free comedy.
So I'm gonna move into some of the like classic stories.
Nice.
About werewolves here. So there are a few references to men changing into wolves found in ancient Greek literature and mythology. Herodotus, in his histories, wrote that the Nurai, a tribe he places to the northeast of Scythia, were all transformed into wolves once every year for several days, and then changed back into their human shape.
Okay.
In 2nd century BC, the Greek geographer Pausanias related to the story of the king of Lycoa of Arcadia, who was transformed into a wolf because of his he sacrificed a child to the altar of Zeus, which we talked about earlier. There's another version in which it's Zeus testing him as he's not a king, he's a common man, and Zeus wants to test Lycoa wants to test if he's really a god, and he hits him with lightning and then turns him into a werewolf. Because, it's Zeus, he's got to do lightning stuff.
Yeah. Middle
Ages, there's evidence of widespread belief in werewolves in medieval Europe. The evidence spans to much of the continent, as well as the British Isles. Werewolves are mentioned in medieval law codes, which inform us that the codes aim to ensure that, quote, the madly audacious werewolf do not too widely devastate nor bite too many spiritual. Which is like in the laws of Great Britain.
Dude, God, I hate that place.
Yeah.
I will say though, I'm just sitting over here thinking about what life would be like if we never got rid of that just constant fear of werewolves.
Right?
Like, I can't even picture it, but man, it seems so funny.
Luciprand of Cremonia reports that Bahan, the son of Simon of Bulgaria, could use magic to turn himself into a wolf.
That tracks.
The works of Augustine of Hippo had a large influence on the development of Western Christianity and were widely read by churchmen of the medieval period, and these churchmen occasionally discussed werewolves in their works. Germany has the same thing going on in the 11th and 13th century, talking about wolfmen, Germanic paganism.
That's a good front bottom song.
Yeah.
Germany paganism.
Examples of werewolves in Ireland and the British Isles can be found in the work of the 9th century Welsh monks. Female werewolves appear in the Irish work Tales of the Elders from the 12th century. The Welsh werewolves in the 12th and 13th century. Nah, that's a Welsh word that I'm not touching. In 1539, Martin Luther used the form Beowulf to describe a ruler who's a tyrant who must be resisted. Harold of Norway was known to have had the body of the wolf-coated men, which are mentioned in I can't. This is an A and E touching each other with an umlaut over it.
Oh, it's Elon Musk's child.
Yeah. Which were the fighters similar to berserkers for Herald of Norway, which is Vikings.
Yeah.
That dressed in wolf hides rather than those in bears, and were channeled the spirits of the animals to enhance their effectiveness in battle.
Dude, wolves are huge.
Yeah. It also links back to association with Odin. So the last thing I have here.
Odin had a big old wolf, didn't he?
Listen, I know Odin was often a raven on the battlefield.
If I could just be talking out of my ass here. I think that Odin had a child that turned into a wolf.
Loki had a child who turned into a wolf.
Yeah, okay, that's what I'm thinking of.
Yeah.
That it just kept growing to the point that they had okay.
I hit that point in Assassin's Creed Valhalla and stopped. Because I was like, I need to go play something else right now.
I played 10 minutes of that game and went,
Assassin's Creed.
I hate Assassin's Creed.
So this is the last section here I have, and it's the remedies.
I was going to say, yeah, we got to get to the remedies.
So there are various methods that have existed for removing the werewolf form. The ancient Greeks and Romans believed the power of exhaustion in curing people of lycanthropy. The victim would be subjugated to long periods of physical activity in hopes to purge it. This practice stemmed from the fact that many alleged werewolves would be left feeling weak or debilitated after transforming back.
So what they are saying is a healthy diet and plenty of exercise will keep you from being a werewolf.
Yeah.
Or will fix you
if you are a werewolf.
Okay. All right.
In medieval Europe, traditionally there are 3 methods that one can use to cure a victim of lycanthropy. Medicinally, usually via the use of wolf's bane.
Makes sense.
Surgically, or by exorcism.
No. What were they removing surgically? Does it say?
However, many of the cures advocated by medieval medical practitioners proved fatal to the patients.
We cut your brain out. You're not going to be
you won't be a werewolf.
You're not going to be a werewolf no more.
Yeah.
Exorcism. That's weird. I wouldn't have guessed that.
A Sicilian belief of Arabic origins holds. Yes, that's a trip across the continents.
Yeah, that's something.
Holds that werewolves can be cured of its ailment by striking it on the forehead or scalp with a knife.
Hey, yeah, if you stab me on my forehead, I'll die.
You won't be a werewolf anymore.
Because that's where my brain is.
Another belief from the same culture involves piercing of the werewolf's hands with nails.
Christ was a vampire. That's why they...
Hey, you need to watch Underworld. Because there's someone who's a vampire and a werewolf.
I was about to say, it's the ultimate predator. A vampire and a werewolf.
Okay. In the German lowland of Germantown name, A werewolf could be cured if one were to simply address it by its name 3 times. Its Christian name.
Bloody Mary, Bloody Mary, Bloody Mary.
There you go.
Dude,
Candyman.
that's the first time I've ever done that.
Yeah, you weren't in a Mary. Fine.
Yeah, no. Oh man, it used to scare the hell out of me. We lost power in elementary school once during after school,
Mm-hmm.
and a bunch of us had to go to the bathroom. So we were in the bathroom, and I was sitting in this stall when I was like, I think it was like 3rd grade, and I could hear that they were doing Bloody Mary in the mirror. And dude, I sprinted out of that stall so fast. I wanted nothing to do with it. It scares me so because like I know nothing's gonna happen.
Yeah.
But if it
did though. All right, I have 2 more.
Okay.
So the Danish believed you could solve it by scolding the werewolf.
Hey now, cut
that out.
Hey, you
Stop it. Stop it.
spray bottle.
Yeah. No.
Stop it.
And then Saint Hubert said that the cure and protection from lycanthropes
This is the first protection we've had.
Is converting to Christianity. Because of course it is.
Of course it is. Hey, you don't believe in Jesus? You're going to be a werewolf.
Sucks that you have to turn into a werewolf.
And then be stabbed in your brain.
That's all I've got on werewolves today. I thought that was a really interesting topic.
I can't believe we haven't talked about it before.
Well, because there's not like specific accounts to go to.
I guess that's fair.
It's just like the general like
idea
of werewolves. I imagine I'll do a multi-part thing here eventually.
We can do like a whole like monster universe.
Yeah, I've got a list of quote legendary creatures.
Sweet.
That I want to go through because they're like cryptids but with more lore to them.
I say like cryptids but old.
Yeah.
Like old cryptids.
Or like just they have more stories about them than firsthand accounts.
That's fair. Well, I guess that's gonna happen over thousands of years. Man, it'd be cool if werewolves were real.
Yeah, absolutely. That was one of the podcast topics they have is, you have to be turned into one. Are you turning into a vampire or a werewolf? For Super Bored Nerds show, go check that out.
Oh, I thought we were gonna. I think I'd go werewolf.
I've got like pros and con lists broken down and ready for that episode when we get to it.
Venn diagram. The only thing in the middle, biting.
Yeah.
I got all these teeth made for biting, and you're gonna give me more of them. You're gonna give me bigger ones, bigger teeth for more biting.
So that's what I've got for today's episode.
That's cool. This is fun. Next week's isn't gonna be.
No. Oh no.
I'll go ahead. I mean, you're gonna know this in a week, just at the same time that everyone else does.
Ooh.
I've got 2 parts of mine. I have not decided which one's gonna go first.
Oh, fun!
The one that's pretty sad, or the other one that's kind of scary.
Oh. Okay.
It's one I had to break up into 2 days because I scared myself a little bit.
Oh, excellent! That's what I love.
I was talking about that with Joey last night in Discord. Is he was talking about how I was like, how do you guys not scare yourselves? I was like, Joey, you are underestimating how many nightmares I've had about stuff that I've written. I was like, when I did the Skinwalker, for like 2 weeks I was having nightmares.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh yeah, I guess
my trick is we stop recording and I forget the last 3 hours.
Yeah, I mean, like, I normally have nightmares until we record.
Okay.
Like it's doing the research, and then up until I get the thoughts out, they're just in there, just brewing. And and Joey gave me a couple to like look at, and I just looked at them for about 4 seconds. I was like, it's 3 a.m. I cannot look at this right now because I will have nightmares. I also
Roswell's fallen.
I've been sleeping with my closet door open because
Okay.
well, because I used to have to sleep with the light on and noise, so I used to just sleep with my TV on.
Yeah.
And I've gotten away from needing the light. I still need like sound, so I'll listen to podcasts to go to sleep. But I'm trying to, because if I find myself sleeping at someone's house or something and I can't get like my perfect things, I just won't sleep.
Yeah.
So I keep trying to do things that stress me out and sleep, so
it's easier when you're not
easier.
at home. Yeah.
Yeah, and so I've been sleeping with my closet door open for the last like 3 or 4 nights, and someone the other day I was on the phone with someone like late, and they were talking about like the ghost that's in their house.
No.
And I was like, hey, I genuinely need you to stop this,
Yeah.
because I was just immediately just like looking dead into my closet, like, is something moving in there? And so yeah, no, I scare myself too easily, so yeah, no, this affects me. But yeah, no, I couldn't look at that stuff last night because it was like I didn't read into any of it. I just saw pictures and I was like, you know what? I'm good for now, I think. So those will be coming soon.
Excellent.
We
want to do.
I was gonna say, like, do we do? I mean, court. I guess we can't really do for this.
Yeah.
Because we don't have any like cases. Fight Club. He's probably gonna beat everything that doesn't have magic or is a god.
Yeah. That was one of the feedback points that I got, is that we need to refamiliarize ourselves with the list next time we do a Fight Club, because we tend to focus in on. So we have the bar of Spring Heel Jack. Try not to trip over it.
I was gonna say, so the floor.
And then we have the god tier. And there's a middle area that's just kind of a mess.
You know what we should do?
What's that?
We should get a whiteboard.
I was thinking a tier list.
Well, see, I wasn't gonna go that far. I was gonna go with like categories.
Yeah.
Of like, and then like ranking them in those categories. There's no point in putting
aquatic and bipedal and flying and
magic and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I mean, we'll have to talk about it.
Yeah, we'll brainstorm.
But yeah, no, because we do just kind of
look. It can beat Spring Heel Jack. It can't beat the Mongolian Deathworm. We're done.
We've done a lot of things.
Yeah, I know.
We can't list off every episode.
It was just the fact that we always go back to the same barometer.
I mean, it makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, overall I think they would
pretty
be
strong.
Very strong. And now, if you're going by the ways to defeat them from the list or the tale that I just spun,
but it seemed like all of those were how to defeat them if they're in human form.
Yeah,
there was nothing on how to defeat them in werewolf form.
Yeah, and that was the thing that I didn't do research into, because I imagined that there's not enough detail from
it's silver
that
bullets,
far away.
Right?
Silver in general. It was Wolfsbane was actually
Wolfsbane. Yes.
Roses.
Yeah, they hate romance. You're not seducing a werewolf. Trust me.
We're not going to be on no werewolves on The Bachelor.
We can't talk about that right now. We've done that bit already.
And then I think a vampire can kill a werewolf.
Makes sense. They hate one another.
And then removing the head.
Yeah,
it was fairly
straightforward.
Yeah, but it was the physical toughness of them that causes those to be. Silver is like the primary one, because that's, that was coins back then.
That's fair.
Now they're all just like nickel.
Now they're all useless.
They're zinc. Gross. Disgusting. I'm allergic to zinc.
Are you?
Yeah. Gives me like a burn on my skin.
Ooh.
Yeah. Real fun.
Doesn't sound like it.
Not a lot has it, because it's kind of bendable. It kind of sucks. It's what pennies are made out of.
I knew one of the coins was made out of it.
All right. Do we want to do our socials and wrap up here?
Yeah.
Excellent.
Where can we find you on Twitter, Levi?
You can find me at Levi Carver, LevisCarver. I retweet nonsense constantly.
You can follow me on Twitter at Baby Mothman. I also retweet nonsense, but also do tweet most thoughts that enter my head that I think are funny. And a lot of Valorant stuff.
Yeah.
You can follow the podcast on Twitter, which is basically just funny, or not really funny. Just I wake up and I go, "What TV show do I want to look up on Twitter right now?" But you can follow us at Mothman Podcast. You can email us at that Mothman Podcast.
I haven't checked the email in a little while.
I checked it last week. You can also, if you're scared and you're like, I can't go to sleep, if you just want to go ahead and stay on up, just go ahead and try Noob Energy.
Yeah.
They'll keep you up.
Oh yeah.
They'll keep you
Not jittery though.
No,
In a good way.
like a smooth.
Like I need to ride out the night until the sun comes up again.
I have to stare in this one corner of my window to make sure that a ghost doesn't pop up.
Yeah.
You're gonna have that focus with Noob Energy.
Absolutely.
What are cool flavors that we've got?
We've got clutch and kiwi.
Clutch and kiwi, yes.
And then a citrus.
Citrus what?
Burst.
Yes.
Oh,
God, this is bad.
digging that out of the back of my brain there.
Yeah. What's wrong with you? Order
it's sitting in my cart.
Order the drinks that they give us discounts on.
It's in my cart.
But go to noobenergy.com. You can use code Mothman15 for 15% off. I did look, by the way. It is 1 pack, 6 packs, 12 packs.
Okay, that's what I thought.
I have got so many of them sitting in my pantry.
Yeah.
Because I was drinking them like once a day during the week for work because I don't sleep enough.
Yeah.
But I keep forgetting to put them in the fridge.
Oh. So they're just hanging out and being nice and room temperature.
Nice and room temperature.
Which, crack that open, put it on ice.
I've thought about that, but then I
always feel bad for doing that to an energy drink because I feel like the can's part of the experience. New energy can, awesome.
I was gonna say the new energy, the new energy cans are what is it? Is it wrapped?
They're wrapped.
Yeah, it's got a nice texture to it.
Yeah.
It does feel good in your hand. So then I would peel the wrap off of the can to wrap around the cup.
You don't have to do that, but you can't get it. Hold the can in one hand and drink it with the other.
Hey Zachary, I'm your boss. You haven't done anything.
It's a two-handed drink.
It's 11:30. You've been on the clock for 3 hours. I'm sorry, boss man, but I don't know how I'm talking to you. Oh, it's a video call. I forgot. I've got both of these. Are you just double fisting energy drinks? No,
don't be ridiculous.
Hey, that'd be stupid. You idiot. I've got to touch this one and drink this one. But yeah, use code Mothman15. It's delicious.
Yeah,
I love them. I'm growing on the clutch and kiwi.
Excellent.
Because I didn't love it at first because it tasted sharp.
I have a kiwi fact that I don't know if it's real, so I'll tell you off air.
No, say it.
I have done no research into this. Kiwis help produce serotonin.
I'm gonna look that up off stream.
Now, at this point, I realized I used to eat a lot of kiwis as a kid.
Were you happy?
I sure was. You know how many kiwis I eat now?
0.
0 kiwis.
I think I've seen a kiwi once. There was a kiwi once in my fridge when I was a child, and I thought something had molded to hell and back. I was like, what has been in this fridge so long that it's grown hair?
Oh.
But yeah, Noob Energy Clutch and Kiwi. At first, thought it kind of tasted sharp, but I got 24. I got 24 on my last order. I got 12 Clutch and Kiwi, 12 Citrus Burst.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm just gonna knock these Clutch and Kiwi out because I know that Citrus Burst is gonna be smooth.
How does the container come for a 12? Is it like a regular can sleeve?
It what?
Like the 12 packs. Is it like a
Like a carton thing?
yeah, like a
No, it's
cardboard
the
thing?
it's the like little like I think it's recycled plastic actually. That's just on the top of them.
And it just goes across 12?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And then they package it really well.
Yeah.
I will say though, this is probably because of where I live. The box gets beat up sometimes.
Yeah, listen, they don't get paid enough to deal with that.
Yeah, I mean that's fair.
Postage.
But yeah, I've been keeping. I think they are recycled plastic. The holders.
Mail person.
Yeah, you're a mail person. But no, yeah, no, they're great. And I just pull it out of the box straight into the fridge.
If you're looking for something totally different to listen to, you can check out the Superboard Nerd Show. We haven't done an episode in a while, but
what was the last one we did? E3.
Yeah, it was the E3.
The E3
predictions. Yeah. I'll throw us into a Discord call sometime soon, and
we'll talk about some nonsense.
Yeah, we'll knock out another one of
those. If you like our artwork, you should check out Coralie, whose username is @Lychan, LYCHAN_ on Twitter. Believe her commissions are open. She did a fantastic job on our artwork, which is another movie that I have not seen.
Yeah.
Is the basis of our.
Hey,
I was gonna say I don't think you have either. Have you? Perfect.
I have not seen a single Studio Ghibli movie.
I have Spirited Away. I'll let you borrow Spirited Away.
I used to watch the commercial on the on a VHS tape at the beginning for Castle in the Sky, and that's the only like part of it that I've seen. And I know about the cat bus.
I say the cat bus. You got Howl's Moving Castle
and the egg toast.
I don't know about the egg toast.
It's toast with egg on it.
Oh, okay. I thought it was like a character or something.
No.
Yeah, cat bus. Cat bus is what? That's Totoro, right?
Yeah.
We've lost it.
Yeah,
we've lost.
Yes, we have.
But yeah, check out Coralie. She did a great job, and it was very quick. Trying to think if we've got anything else.
BoardNerds.store. Get you some merch.
Get you some merch. Now, wait, I can't say that.
If you want to watch live, you can check out the twitch.tv/Skeleton Crew Gaming, and our archives go up on the YouTube channel for Skeleton Crew Gaming also, as well as individual episodes uploaded onto the Board Nerds YouTube channel.
Yes, and for if you're listening to it and you're like, oh man, I wonder what I'm missing on the video one. It's basically on Levi's episodes, I'm sitting over here having an ADHD attack, just looking at anything I can find, and we also cut out a lot of nonsense, which we've gotten better about it.
Yeah, we've personally cut out a lot of nonsense in our talking.
Yes, because I was talking last night about because I was in a Discord call with a bunch of friends from Florida, and Joey will watch us sometimes. And then the other guys will like listen to it, and they're like, "What's the difference?" And I was like, "Well, there was one time that Levi and I just started talking about people we went to high school with for I think straight 30 minutes."
Yeah.
And they were like, "Oh, okay." And I was like, "Yeah, that's about it." I was like, "You just look at us and we do that."
Yeah.
So I mean, you're not missing a ton, but you're just missing a little bit of nonsense. But yeah, you can check out you on that same Twitch. Levi streams every now and then.
I'm setting myself a schedule back.
Oh, look at you!
I want to play the Pokemon Unite. Man. I heard it's pay to win.
Yeah, I have.
So that's cool.
I heard it's fun though.
Yeah, I mean it's a MOBA.
I was very upset the other day when we were talking about it, and I said I was going to go download it.
Yeah,
I thought it was available on PC as well.
No, it is a mobile game and a Switch game.
Yeah.
Yep.
Which is very sad for me.
No, because Pokemon doesn't do computers.
Yeah. I've just been playing randomizers. Randomized ROMs. That's all I do anymore. Because my internet's too bad to do anything else.
Yeah. I'm going to start playing Force Unleashed again, I think.
What's that?
Star Wars game.
That's the one with the career? That's the single player one?
It's not the new one. It's one from the 360.
Oh, okay. I don't know anything about it.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah. But yeah, that's been My Neighbor Mothman.
Yeah.
I'm Zachary.
And I'm Levi.
And if we forgot anything, we'll talk about it next week.
Absolutely.
One warning: don't let yourself get stabbed in the head. Second warning: I don't care. Piss off the Roman Catholics. What do I give a shit?
All right.
Got
Any intermission here?
Nah, I'm good.
Well,
Oh, I thought you were asking if I needed one. I got a match on Tinder.
Oh, nice.
Oh, cool. It's just a picture of Barbie smoking a bong.
Hell yeah.
I wonder why I like that one. We're still live. We're not recording, right? Man, I smoked the other night when I was over at my friend's house. Man, way too much, way too fast. She had a pen, but it didn't have like a trigger on it. It didn't have like a button or anything. It was just a pull.
Oh, no, it's dangerous.
So I was sitting there and I was like pulling it and I couldn't feel anything. And then I was like,
You opened your mouth and smoke came out your eyes.
well, no. And then I was like, there's a light on the bottom of this. So I put my finger below it and I could see that the light was just bright as hell. And I was like, oh no. And I stopped and I sat there for a second and I was like, I don't feel like there's any smoke. And just watched just a tower of smoke come out. I was like, oh, I'm done for. And sure enough, 30 minutes later, we were eating pizza rolls that were so burnt that they were not chewable.
Oh, no.
It was like chewing glass.
Oh, no.
But I just remember, I could not open my eyes. I was drunk and high. And I was just sitting there just. Oh, it was such nonsense, dude. What a good night, though.
Alright. We might have double audio on that one, so that might be a little annoying.
What do you mean, like we were picking up on each other's microphone?
I had, because I'm running everything through voice mod
Uh-huh.
to filter,
Beans. Yeah.
so it's coming through desktop.
Sweet.
Which it should sync up. It should just sound like we're all around.
Oh, dude, that's crazy as fuck.
But I'm gonna go ahead and fix that for this next. We were rolling.
All right, let me open up my Google Docs. Oh, man, I reached 40 pages of notes.
Gosh.
If we ever do like Patreon or something, I feel like I'll just release these.
Yeah, so here's the problem: is my first batch are all physical notes.
I've got some physical notes, but most of mine is now most of mine's now on Google Docs.
I got a Google Doc I don't recognize. Oh, that was my plot for a Friends style pro gamer show.
Excuse me.
I had a plot written out to do not Friends, The Office style show about a group of gamers.
That's interesting.
It's not very good.
All right. No, I don't have a cold open this time.
Okay.
So we're just going into it. Welcome to My Neighbor Mothman. I'm Zachary.
I'm Levi.
This is our X-Files-esque cryptozoological true crime supernatural nonsense show. And as I talked about last week, Levi, I have 2 cases in what I will probably turn into a series.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot more on this than I thought there was going to be when I started researching it. I got two stories. Would you like to hear the one that is pretty sad and at the end gets a little like possibly paranormal, or the paranormal one that is just buck wild first?
I think we saved the buck wild for last.
Okay. All right. So here is we're going to start off a series on just the absolute mysterious nonsense that is national parks.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're gonna talk about what is fairly well known as the missing 411 phenomenon, which is just the thought process of people go missing in national parks a lot, and sometimes it's weird.
Yeah. I saw a video about this.
A TikTok about
a TikTok about
I
this.
I saw a TikTok about it like 2 months ago, and I was like, I want to do something on that. And then like 3-4 weeks ago, I was like, I should start writing those episodes. And it just there's so much.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I've got 2 stories today.
Okay.
First one, very old, is 1969.
Nice.
Yeah. Hey, that's about as nice as this story's gonna get.
Oh
no.
That's a pretty high nice to hit.
Yes. I forgot to write what state this was in. But
4:20 p.m.
Are you done?
Yeah, I am.
A family was out with some of their friends and their children at a space. Wait, no, here we go. At Space Field in Great Smoky National Park. Just a normal. I mean, it's the 60s. Probably just hanging out.
Yeah, having a picnic.
Yeah, being safe.
Yeah. Bell bottoms everywhere.
Huh?
Bell
bottoms, weed. What else?
Denim coveralls.
Yep.
Fringe.
Dazed and Confused.
Yeah.
That was the 70s, I think.
I don't know.
Yeah, me neither. Dennis, a 7-year-old, who was...
What a menace.
Hey, man. Shut up. Dennis was a 7-year-old who was with this family. He was someone's son. Had split off from the other children as they decided to break and like split off from the family and go into the woods and surround them and scare them. They were like, "Oh, let's scare our parents." Well, Dennis split off by himself, and everyone jumped out. Did the great big boo.
Oh, yeah.
Dennis was nowhere.
Oh,
and it went from, according to people who were there, it was less than 5 minutes from the kids splitting up to him not being there to them already starting to search through these woods.
This is big Lake Lanier energy.
It's gonna get bigger. Lake Lanier energy. There was obviously people who were there started to help search.
Yeah.
But over the next couple of days, the search included everyone from Boy Scouts, firefighters, college students, rescue squads from across state lines, and Green Berets.
Oh,
were brought in to find this 7-year-old. Most people believe that Dennis just got lost in the woods.
Yeah.
And probably couldn't find his way back out.
That's a young kid.
Yeah. And now I'm gonna kind of split up. I don't have to come back. He was unfortunately never found.
Yeah.
Still hasn't been. With most people assuming that this was because at its highest there were nearly 1,400 people searching the woods for him. So, and it was the 70s. It was before people started like really think about how to find someone who's missing out in the woods like that. So everyone's walking all over stuff. There's yelling probably Dennis every 4 seconds. There's some people who believe that he was attacked by an animal. Apparently there was a bear that had been like captured and released in the area a couple of weeks before, and some people believe that, you know, maybe he was just hanging around. But that one I'm not super keen on believing, because I feel like he would have heard something.
Yeah.
Whether it was the kid yelling because there was a bear.
Yeah,
they're not like, oh man, watch this, I'm about to prank this kid.
Yeah.
About to prank this kid, rip his face off.
Oh no.
So pretty much everyone was like, small animal. We just missed him, got
Yeah.
lost in the woods. But there was a report that came out a couple weeks after this happened that kind of muddies the water a little bit, which was a man named Harold was with his family in the woods a couple of miles away, and recalls hearing that same afternoon a deeply sickening and blood curdling scream.
Oh.
And then a man who he described as rough sneaking and lurking through the woods in an inhuman way.
So that reminds me of a TikTok you sent me of the skinwalker that the guy stumbled upon.
Oh, the dude out
The
in the
dude
field?
out in the field just screaming.
That, yeah, no. That was bad.
Also,
yeah.
it's been bugging me. I looked up what P is on Roswell's chest here. It was
Oh,
H2O O2 and then P squared.
Okay.
And P is phosphorus.
oh, okay. I need you to see this from my viewpoint of,
There's P
Hey.
on Roswell.
hey, it's been bothering me, so I looked up what P was.
Yeah.
And I thought you were about to just break down
No.
what,
No.
like, urine was. I was like, okay.
No, Roswell's little panel thing here was bugging me. I don't know why it would be phosphorus squared.
Yeah. But yeah, so that he said that this man seemed to be moving in an unusual way and was sneaking away from the woods and would not respond as they like yelled for him.
Yeah.
But they didn't know a kid had gone missing until like days later, and they're like, "Hey, there was a weird man that came from a terrible scream in the woods, but they couldn't find anything." Rangers were like, "Hey, I don't think he could have walked that far that quickly."
Yeah.
So there was something in those woods that day. Something happened, and that's it. Nothing. No, they never found the man. They never found Dennis. Never found anything in the woods.
Yeah, that's not great.
It's not
Don't
great.
love
It's
that.
pretty sad.
Yeah.
Now this next one,
Mhm.
uncomfortable,
Yeah.
and I'm gonna tell it in a reverse order of how, like I researched it because I think
Okay.
it's more interesting this way. So this is in Mount Shasta, California,
Nice.
2009.
Oh.
Much more recent.
Oh, I was a freshman in high school.
I was 2009. I was in 6th grade, I think, 5th or 6th grade. But yeah, so much more recent. This is a woman whose name was not released to
Yeah.
protect her and her family. But the only thing that was released is that her grand with a friend just camping.
Yeah.
Just
Doing California things.
just being out in the wilderness. They went to sleep, and as they were getting into their tents, recall seeing several sets of glowing red eyes
Okay.
in the woods that they kind of just went, "Hey, it's probably just our mind playing tricks on us. It's probably just deer." Well, they go to sleep, don't recall anything happening in their sleep. Both of them, however, woke up, dragged out of their sleeping bag and tents, laying face down on the ground in the dirt.
Oh.
Once awake, they both noticed they had an intense pain on the base of their neck, where they discovered 2 puncture wounds with the surrounding area swollen and inflamed. They both kind of went, probably spider bites,
Yeah.
and decided they were going to finish off their camping trip and then see a doctor when they got back because it didn't seem serious. But very quickly, they both recall being too weak to even pack their stuff up if they wanted to leave, and were there for another couple of days before they were able to muster
get
up the strength to leave. And both fell violently ill after leaving the woods, and recalled feeling drained creatively and emotionally, and it taking several months to even try and get back to normal.
Yeah. A bad joke?
Go ahead. You've made plenty.
Yep. Sounds like they did mushrooms.
It's entirely possible.
Is what it sounds like.
But this lady was a grandma in 2009.
In
It's
California. Also, it's almost as close to Oregon as you can be without being in Oregon. I looked it up on a map.
All right. Well, that's the end of Cappy's situation.
Okay.
But her story continues a year later when her grandson, who they won't release his name, so we'll just call him John Doe, was camping with his family when, according to his father, was there 1 second and gone the next.
Oh, no.
Family scoured the campsite, scoured the area, called the cops. They brought tons of people in. They covered miles of those woods over the next 5 hours. Nothing. They came back to the campsite and kind of were trying to figure out whether to go home or to keep looking, when someone coming in late from the search party found John sitting in a bush 2 feet off of a trail that had been searched several times. John was described as being in a dazed, semi-conscious state. Did not know where he was, did not know anything had happened. Just kind of appeared 5 hours later.
Yeah.
Everyone's lives relatively went back to normal. Went back to school. Oh, sorry, John was 7 at this point.
Okay.
So went back to elementary school.
This is another kid. This is another kid. Yeah.
But a few weeks later, John was hanging out with his grandmother, Cappy, when he apparently, while playing in the backyard, stopped what he was doing, stood up, and said, "I don't like the other Cappy."
Oh.
To which the grandmother went, excuse me? Do you want to run that by me one more time?
Yeah.
Which she then reached out to her son, John's father, and said, "Hey, what are you letting this kid watch on TV? He's talking about stuff." And to which John's father responded, "Hear him out. Listen to this."
Oh, no.
John explained that when he was lost in the woods, he had been led into a cave by someone he thought was Cappy. She led him into a room of motionless humanoid robots with a floor covered in dirty purses, guns, and a plethora of other weapons.
This has taken so many turns.
Yep. And it's going to continue to.
Oh, cool.
As he recalls facing who he thought was his grandmother, he remembers seeing a glowing light starting to radiate from the top of her head, which is when he started to piece together, hey, this isn't my grandma.
7-year-old went, this isn't grandma.
Yeah.
Grandma doesn't glow.
She then instructed him to defecate on a piece of paper and became increasingly agitated when he refused, and to the point of throwing things across this room. After a while of refusing to do this, she changed the subject, telling John that he had been planted in his mother's womb and was from outer space.
Oh.
John then recalls being told to go sit outside and wait for help. They'll be back for him soon. Which he says the next thing he remembers is the person finding him in that bush.
Yeah.
So everyone freaked out at this point. And after this came out, Grandma went, "Hey, I had a weird experience in the woods. I should check and see where it was." And it was about 400 feet from their campsite.
Oh, cool.
Yep. It is also been reported several, which I couldn't find any more fleshed out cases, but there were several other reports of people reporting that they found caves with what looked like broken, like humanoid, like almost like robotic mannequins, and then waking up in the middle of nowhere.
Oh no.
Lots of people claiming that there were caves that seemed to be not man-made but did not seem natural,
Yeah.
and a lot of people reporting abductions in the area.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. Multiple points during that story. Chills. Full body chills.
That's
Like when I watched like most haunted places on TV, it was that same sort of
like
yeah.
but yeah, so that area, Mount Shasta, has been a hotspot of UFO sightings, abduction stories. There is a widely accepted kind of like cultist thought
Yeah.
that there is something living in the mountain that is pulling people into it and erasing their memories. And apparently there hasn't been anything in a couple of years, and a lot of those people believe that they found whatever it was or whoever it was they were looking for
Yeah.
and have just stopped taking people.
Sounds like we got a camping trip.
You have lost your ever
We've
loving
got a camping
mind.
trip to go on.
First of all, no camping. I can't sleep on the ground, hurts my back. 2, woods,
Yeah.
bad. 3, bad. 4, aliens. 5, I don't know if we've talked about this. I hate mannequins.
Okay. Listen, there's been only one time that I've been like, I used to watch scary game playthroughs
Yeah.
on YouTube, right? There was only one time that I had to change it off of it, like mid video, and it was a game where there's a mannequin, you look away and you look back, and it's changed positions.
Yeah. I know what you're talking about.
Horrifying.
Yeah, because Funhouse did like a playthrough of it.
Probably.
Yeah, no, I don't mess with mannequins, and the ones at Hibbit were fine because they didn't have heads.
Yeah.
Any mannequin that has a head, totally uncomfortable.
I'm okay with them having a head. It's when they start having faces on them
Fair.
that it becomes a problem. If they're painted, get out.
Hey, you want me to tell you a place that you should not go?
What's that?
Any kind of wig shop.
Yeah.
Because let me tell you, before going into a wig shop, I did not put much thought into. Wonder how they're going to store these wigs in this wig shop. Let me tell you how they do it. On just mannequin heads.
Yeah.
That are painted with facial features.
Yeah, I don't like that.
Don't like that one bit. Pure panic the entire time. But yeah, Mount Shasta. First of all, I would recommend. I watched a good bit of it. I would recommend that you and everyone. There is a documentary called Missing 411 on Hulu that I can't remember the guy's name. I'm sure I could Google it. But he worked in national parks for a while.
Yeah.
And wrote a bunch of books about cases like this. And made a documentary called Missing 411 that is just going into the kind of weird surroundings.
I typed in missing.
Yeah,
and,
it'll pop up. Well, it's listening
it's
to
listening. The literary series and the film.
Yeah, it's I had to turn it off like 15 minutes in because I was already uncomfortable. What's the guy's name?
David.
It's
Paldies.
like good. It looked like it was well done. But there's a lot of theories on what is happening in national parks.
Yeah.
A lot of people, of course, aliens, cryptids. A lot of people like Bigfoot.
I liked the who was it? Teddy Roosevelt knew about the cryptids and pushed them into nature reserves.
I mean, look.
And that's why like the National Park Service exists, is to contain them.
I mean, Look, probably. I wouldn't put it past it. My favorite theory that I'm sure I will come across as I continue to do this is cannibals.
Yeah.
Which I don't think I've ever been to a national park. I don't think
You
I ever will
have probably driven through a national park accidentally.
Yeah, that's entirely possible.
If you've done like the East Coast drive up to the north.
Yeah. Probably been through a couple.
Yeah.
Didn't stop. Won't.
There's a nature reserve in Gainesville.
You want to go?
I mean, it's just like the Lapachie Nature Center. It's just half of it's a golf course at this point.
Oh.
Yeah.
Not going to be no cannibals out there.
No.
Until we get there and we eat the rich.
Let's get them.
Come on, Jeff. Get them. But no, so those are the only two cases that I have. I just kind of wanted to talk about what you think is going on in national parks.
I do. Listen, I like the idea of the only thing between them and us is the
fence,
the park rangers that are paid minimum wage to
dude, man,
to protect us.
Park rangers have a weird job.
Yeah, everyone I've seen that's a park ranger loves it.
I'm sure it takes a special kind of person to do it.
Yeah,
but it seems like the people that would do it, of course they would.
Yeah,
like you're out there in the wilderness by yourself. Let me tell you, a park rangers that you do not mess with is in Maine.
Yeah,
you do not mess with the park ranger because like the what is that called up there? What's it called? The like big game.
Okay.
The gaming commission.
There you go.
Or whatever it is. They will get you in Maine. Like they will because Maine doesn't have a lot of going on, so they've got to take care of what they've got. Like I've got like family that have been like fined like thousands of dollars for just being in a place they're not supposed to be in.
That's weird.
Yeah.
And see, that just feeds into the
that
you're not supposed to be here.
Well, and that's my thing of there was another case that I read a little bit of but didn't really take too big a notice because there wasn't a lot to it. There was a woman in, I believe, Tennessee within the last like 3 or 4 years that was her and her husband had gone out onto a just like a weekend trip to a cabin.
Yeah.
And the cabin was like overlooking like this huge chunk of the woods in the national park.
Hell yeah.
Which sounds, I mean, like I saw pictures of it. It looks beautiful. Nature, cool as hell.
Oh yeah.
I'm not going in it. But
how are we gonna find Bigfoot then?
Look, Matt Moneymaker's on that. That's such a cool last name.
Yeah, it is.
I don't know if it's his real last name. I don't know if it's his Christian name.
We have to call him by his Christian name to make him not a werewolf.
Can you imagine if he's been hunting Bigfoot all this time and he's just a werewolf?
Man,
what if it's a vendetta?
Yep, there we go. We've cracked it wide open.
I'm gonna tweet at him from the Mothman account. But she was out in his cabin with her husband and her boyfriend, fiance, something, and recalls like just hearing like just ungodly screaming for hours, and called the park rangers, called the cops.
Like, they were like, "Shut up."
Well, like she said that they told her that they would like go out and like check.
Yeah.
And then she said that like the next day she called again to see if like they found anything. And she said that everyone told her that there was no report filed.
Yeah.
Nothing was looked into. Like the cops told her like, "Hey, we didn't get any calls like that last night."
Yeah. Speaking of cryptids, here's Yang.
So yeah, there's something going on in national parks.
So earlier today, we watched a movie called Deep Impact, which is a movie from the late 90s.
Is that the ocean?
No, so there's a asteroid or comet, excuse me.
What's the one in the ocean?
Deep Blue Sea.
Sure.
Oh, it's a shark one. Oh, the Sphere is the one with Sam Neill and Samuel L. Jackson. That one turns out to be aliens.
That is the one I'm talking about.
Yeah, I know. I know it is because I also referenced it when I was talking about that that Deep Impact earlier with
All
Mom.
right, so tell me about it.
So it turns out the government has been preparing for a giant comet to strike the Earth in case kind of thing, and they've created a fallout shelter sort of thing through the mountains, tunnel system that's designed to have 1 million people survive for 6 months inside of it.
It's not a long time.
It was enough time.
Oh, okay.
But it was 100,000 scientists go in, or 200,000 scientists go in, and then 800,000 people are chosen at random in America.
God, that would suck.
And it was all phone calls don't go through. The only phone calls that are coming through are the ones that let you know that you've been chosen, and it's you and your family.
What do the other people do? Just die?
Yeah, you just deal.
Were there aliens? Or was it
No.
It was just
It's just a
okay.
catastrophe movie.
I might have to watch that. But yeah, now I've got an inside scoop to the national parks.
Excellent.
Austin, my friend from forever,
Mm-hmm.
his brother works in Yellowstone.
Oh.
So I sent him a message the other day, and I was like, "Hey, you want to talk about Yellowstone with me?" And he was like, "Can't right now." He's like, "But yeah, sure." I did not tell him why.
Yeah.
Because I want him to actually talk to me. I don't think anything will come from it.
But
what if something does?
But what if it does?
Because he moved out there and just stopped talking to everyone.
Yeah.
Just started working in the park and just stopped. And yeah, I've got no clue what's going on in national parks. And I am equally very badly wanting to go to a national park, and also wanting to give every national park as wide of a berth as I possibly can.
We're gonna we got to set up like a series of trips.
We say this every 3 weeks,
we forget.
Yeah,
immediately.
But yeah, so I was thinking a lot about it, and I was like, man, there's so much of that stuff that like we aren't allowed in and all that. And I started to think about the Appalachian Trail,
which Kyle, friend of the channel,
X-Wood,
yep, Mr. Wood there, he hiked the entire Appalachian Trail a few months ago.
I did not know that.
Yeah,
good for him.
He's a big hiker guy.
I don't like hiking.
Yeah,
I just don't like the woods.
That's fine.
What's very of is, as I was thinking about this, because like I said, I'm probably gonna do like 2 or 3 cases on this.
Yeah.
Every now and then, because there's I like when I first had the idea to research this, I was like, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm just gonna look up missing persons cases that were reported in national parks.
Yeah.
That's impossible.
Because there's thousands,
hundreds of thousands.
Excellent.
That are known.
Cool.
There is like the national park like website, like for the ones that like you can like plan trips to.
Yeah.
Straight up says make sure you let someone know when you are supposed to be out here and when you're supposed to come back.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of people that like say like, oh, I'm gonna go to Yellowstone. And that's all they say, and then they just disappear.
They went to Yellowstone.
Like there was another just very quick one of this dude in the 80s. Like him and his wife lived like 15 minutes from a national park.
Yeah.
And he was like, "Oh, I'm just going to go look at the sights." And his truck was found on the side of the road like ransacked, and he's been gone for like 50 years.
Cool. Man.
Which, like, I'm sure part of that is, I'm sure that's partially because those parks are so big.
Yeah.
That
you get turned around in your SOL kind of thing.
Well, that and like, it'd be so hard to find someone.
Yeah.
But also, if they know that there's something out there, because the fact that part of park ranger's job is to be like, hey, you are not allowed in this area.
Yeah.
I could get it if it was like, hey, we have rock slides in this area. But if it's just
Hey, an endangered species lives in this area.
yeah, but if it's just the woods,
yeah.
why can't I go in those woods?
Yeah.
I've got no problem with park rangers, unless they're hiding something from us.
And then we want to know. We want to know.
Do we have any park rangers that listen to the podcast?
Maybe.
I hope not.
I
'cause
noticed.
I feel like they're going to put.
I noticed recently our listeners are up to 2% in Sweden. 2% of our listeners are from Sweden now. Only 90% of our listeners are from America. We've got a full 10% off.
I'll say
America.
I know we got a little bit in Australia.
Yeah.
So 2% sweet. 2% Swedish.
2%. I can show you the graph.
What you guys got out there, Sweden?
I bet they got some cool stuff. We should look into it.
I think I've done something from Sweden.
Probably. I know when we saw Australia was up, we were like, let's check out some more Australian stuff.
I say, yeah, we did the Yowie.
Yeah.
Did we talk about Bunyip? I think the Halen Vulture was Norway.
Yeah.
I think that's what I'm thinking of.
Yeah.
Man, yeah, I bet they do have some stuff out there. I bet there's some. What you got?
Yu-Gi-Oh plate. Who's your favorite serial killer?
I don't know. I do genuinely kind of like Dahmer. And who's that other one? There's another one that I've actually like looked into.
I don't do the serial killer thing.
I mean, I think it's weird. I think
it never has like grabbed my interest as like a topic to be like into. So I don't really have one.
I think it's a weird thing to idolize. But I think the most interesting story is probably Dahmer. Cuz Dahmer had a lot going on that was probably pretty avoidable. I think that's a big thing with the big serial killers is mental health.
Yeah.
And if it was addressed early enough on, that it probably could have been fixed, or they could have been locked up.
Yeah,
because like Jeffrey Dahmer was. Have you seen My Friend Dahmer, the movie?
No.
It is one of his friends from high school wrote a book about what Jeffrey Dahmer was like in high school.
Oh yeah.
And they treated that man like crap. They used to have him spaz out, which would be they would take him to a public place, and like whether it was entirely performative or not, he basically would have what very closely mimics a very severe panic attack.
Yeah.
And would like seize and like make noises and like scream and shit. And they would just have him do this for humor.
Cool.
Yeah.
Real cool.
And there's also it's hard to find now, but if you look up Dahmer high school yearbook photos, he was part of the yearbook club and snuck his way into as many of those pictures as he could.
Now, to be fair,
very easy.
I would do the exact same thing.
Oh yeah, but it's kind of chilling to look at to know that like, hey, a year after this, he like snapped.
Yeah,
because Dahmer did some stuff. Dahmer is also a good case of police kind of like negligence.
Yeah.
Do you know anything about Dahmer?
Not really. Like, very surface.
Dahmer's biggest case was he had I think at this time he was in his 20s, a younger guy that he was like sleeping with, that he had like nearly beaten to death and was like threatening to kill, and the kid escaped and found his way to the cops, and the cops took him back to Dahmer.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
And I believe that he was one of the heads that they found in Dahmer's fridge.
Cool.
Yeah, Dahmer
Cool.
was messed up.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I recommend My Friend Dahmer. I think it's on Hulu. It's a
Shout
Ross
out to Hulu if you want to
Hulu
sponsor us.
Hulu has a lot of stuff going on. But yeah, Ross Lynch is in it, and he does a fantastic job. But yeah, it's pretty much ripped straight from the book that it just covers like what his home life was like,
Yeah.
what he was like in school, and how everyone treated him. And then it just kind of ends as they are like, "Hey, he's free now," and that's probably not good.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think Dahmer is the. I wouldn't say I have a favorite. I'd say the most interesting one that I've learned the most about is Dahmer. Um, I have wanted to look into BTK a lot. I know BTK was did a lot, or the Unabomber, if you count that as a serial killer.
Yeah. Well, that's like when I think of like serial killers, my brain goes to cannibals also. Because
Ah,
that's I watched
it's
Bones.
dramatic.
I watched Bones. I know.
A lot of cannibals. A lot of cannibals on
One
that show.
specific cannibal in that show.
I don't remember.
That's
I
the
didn't see a lot of it.
whole plot of one of the seasons.
Oh, okay. Makes sense.
And I think of the Donner Party.
The Donner Party is cool.
Donner Party's fun, not a serial killer thing. Definitely cool thing though in history that really sucked for those people.
Yeah, it did.
But for history, really neat.
Yeah, Unabomber is interesting in the sense of if he hadn't blown people up, he would probably be very well known for his ideas.
Yeah.
Because he was a smart guy that also was treated very poorly.
Yeah.
His like college professors when because he was in college at like 17. He was at like I can't remember if it was Harvard, but he was at like an Ivy League school at like 17. And one of his professors, like that he just really wanted the approval of, was doing a social experiment kind of,
Man.
as they like it was like some like behavior kind of stuff. And it like
Listen,
he was already radical, but it radicalized him even further.
there were some really bad experiments that went on.
Oh yeah.
The
Man.
dolphins on LSD
Yeah,
was a wild one.
Was it the Sanford prison experiment? Is that the college that did the prison thing?
Yeah.
Have you read about that?
Yeah, I know. I've heard about that one.
Man, that one's crazy.
This one turned out to not be quite right, but there was a study about rats in which they put them in a giant civilization and slowly over time gave them everything they needed.
Do you know rats like to drive little cars?
I do know that.
That's very cute.
And it didn't. There wasn't a control, so there wasn't like a this isn't like taken like seriously. But like towards the end of it, they all ended up like no one was socializing, and everyone was all the rats were just staying put, eating, and staying where they were. Exactly, that was the whole. But then it turned out large chunks of that had been falsified or something.
I would say like probably like Netflix does a really good like docu-series about the Unabomber, as well as the Centennial Park bomber.
You know what I want to touch on it in a couple future episodes is go through some creepypastas.
I thought about that, but
I thought about slipping one in just to see, and then I could be at the end of like, and it was a creepypasta all along.
I mean, that's basically just the Watchers. Are you scared?
Oh,
I think is what that's called. That I like because those are the dudes from BuzzFeed Unsolved.
Yeah.
One of them reads basically like a creepypasta or an actual story.
Yeah.
Goes through the entire thing, and then at the end of it goes, "Hey, this was either real or this was
that
fake."
was a TV show called Unsolved Mysteries.
I don't watch TV.
It was in the 90s or whatever.
Yeah, I think I'm more interested in cults than I am serial killers.
Yeah.
Cults are very interesting to me. Like the Branch Davidians in Waco. Man.
See, again, these are, if we want to talk about dinosaurs or sharks, I got all sorts of fun information about those in my brain.
So the Branch Davidians were led by David something with a K, but it was a compound in Waco, Texas,
Mm-hmm.
that I think at one point there were like 70 people living in, that David was fairly he had convinced them and probably himself that he was like the second coming of Jesus.
Oh, those are always fun.
And that's another like really good docu-series. It's called Waco. I think it's on Netflix. That is written from the perspective from two books, as well as one of the guys that survived the absolute nonsense that was the raid on that compound. Because it ended with
Yeah. Okay. I remember that part.
yeah.
I remember the raid part.
It was terrible. And what sucks is that no one will ever admit which side was wrong.
Because I remember the raid part because going all the way back to the beginning of the pandemic here, it's brought up in Tiger King.
Yes. Yep.
And I was just like, oh yeah, that happened.
They also have like there's a lot of how police are supposed to treat people kind of come from like the Geneva Conventions as well as what happened in Waco.
Yeah.
Because they tortured those people. They like had like tanks that they parked outside that compound and just played like white noise 24/7
Yeah.
to try and get people to come out, and like music 24/7 and all this stuff. But the lead negotiator that wrote the book was taken off of the case right before it wrapped up. Him and the guy that survived the compound internally both say that the FBI fired first, and that's what caused it. And from their side, it was they were trying to get into the compound, and there was dogs outside.
Yeah.
And the dogs lunged at one of them, and somebody shot one of the dogs, which then the Branch Davidians were like, they're shooting at us.
Yeah.
Bang, 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 bang. So yeah, no, it's very interesting.
That's poor trigger discipline there.
Yeah. But yeah, no, Waco's interesting.
Yeah. All right, we should wrap
Sing 411 and
Waco.
the Manhunt series and the Waco.
Yeah.
It's a lot. A lot of fun stuff.
Find it on Hulu. Sponsor us.
Don't find it on Hulu until they sponsor us.
Yeah. Tell them we sent you. I don't know who. Or
Oh,
tweet at them.
Yeah, tweet at Hulu for us. But while you're on Twitter tweeting at Hulu, you can follow the podcast
You can.
at Mothman Podcast. You can follow me personally at Baby Mothman. I tweet a bunch of nonsense, and I retweet a bunch of nonsense. I find it funny.
You can find me on Twitter at Levi Carver, LevisCarver. I retweet just terrible things most of the time.
You know what you've gotten better about on Twitter?
What's that?
Liking things.
Hey, Twitter shouldn't have that function.
Yeah.
All right?
You were liking some questionable things there for a little bit.
It's all right. I went through and blocked everyone that I don't want to see it.
That's fair. Tumblr, you can lock your likes on Tumblr so people can't see them.
They're trying to sell Tumblr Premium now.
Well, did you know that there's like premium Twitter?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, like a subscription service thing happened.
Yeah.
Because OnlyFans was real popular.
Yeah, you can like I clicked on someone's it was that
No problem.
it was that IGN person that I jokingly sent a boyfriend application
Oh,
to.
yeah.
She had like a thing that I think she had a thing you could like tip her. I was like, what the hell is
Yeah.
this? But while you're on Twitter looking us up, you can look up the person that did our artwork for us, Coralie. Her username is at Lychan_, LYCHAN_. I believe her commissions are open. She did a fantastic job on our artwork.
Absolutely.
You can email us
Yeah.
at thatmothmanpodcast@gmail.com.
You can watch along live on twitch.tv/Skeleton Crew Gaming.
Okay.
And watch the archives over on the YouTube channel by the same name and the individual
like an option to review it.
Yeah.
Leave us a review.
Drop us a rating review
Also, feel free to interact with us in any way about things you like, things you don't like, ideas you have for like things you'd like for us to cover.
Yeah, we're all ears.
I mean, we might not do it, but we'll listen.
One of the two of us will read it.
If it's me and I remember to, I'll interact. But I can't promise. Because sometimes I do forget things. I'm trying to think. We got
Board Nerds Not Store. Get you My Neighbor Mothman shirt. We also have our Board Nerd shirts and hats and Skeleton Crew Gaming gear in there.
Wait, we can't say that.
Yeah. The Loser Supreme shirt, I believe, is still in there.
Yes, it is. There's beanies in there.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think if we got anything else. If you watch those things that I recommended and you liked them or didn't like them, let me know.
Yeah.
I'll talk to you about them. I don't care. Look, I don't do anything. I'll talk to you. He doesn't.
He sends me TikToks all day.
Hey, look.
All day, every day.
You do the same thing. Well, you don't do it all day. You do it at night. If it hits 11:30 and I'm getting TikTok notifications, I'm like, Levi's bored.
If it's a string of TikToks and then silence for hours, I was on the toilet.
Makes sense. I also love when you send me a bunch of TikToks and then tell me that you're too high to remember whatever they were.
Yeah.
But yeah, that about wraps it up. This has been My Neighbor Mothman.
Thank you so much for listening.
Yeah, or watching. Wait. If you are in a national park trying to solve the case, what are you gonna do if you get tired?
Oh yeah, that's a good question.
You need something to wake you up.
You would, but you don't want to be jittery out there because you don't want like everything to like scare you, like Gracie May, where if I like snapped my fingers too loud, this cat would jump.
Come up here and hang out with me, Gracie May.
But as a solution to that, you can use our code Mothman15 at Noob Energy.
Yeah, Noob Energy. You got 2 delicious flavors. You got Clutch and Kiwi and Citrus Burst. They're vegan friendly, 10 calories.
We didn't cover any of this last time.
No, we didn't. But like I said, if we forgot it last week, we'll cover it this week. They're vegan friendly. It's 10 calories. Made and packaged here.
Singles, 6s, and 12s.
Yep, you can buy it 1, 6, 12. 15% off if you use our code. Then you get a discount. Noob thinks that we're pretty cool, and then they'll let us do things.
Eventually we'll do well enough, and we'll convince them to give us a flavor,
or they'll sell us the business.
Yeah, one of the two.
And then we'll call it Mothman Energy.
And then
Big Mothman,
and then that won't go well, I imagine.
Yeah, and then we will run that because
we don't know how to run a business.
Not one bit. But yeah, no, they're delicious. I drink at least probably 4 a week at this point.
Let's go.
Yeah, my heart's not in good condition. But that's not because
it's unrelated.
It's because I don't take care of myself. But yeah, so check them out. They've got a Discord you can join publicly.
Yeah. We're in there.
Should we do a Discord? We've got so many Discords.
I kind of have swapped our main Discord to being like a hub. I'm gonna revamp it here soon.
I gotcha.
I
did see that there's like a
and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, come hang out with us. Come talk to us.
Yeah.
We're both pretty bored most of the time.
I have a warning before I go hit the button.
Oh, you've got a warning?
I have one. It's not a warning. It's more of like
a threat?
A survival tip.
Threaten our listeners.
If you're lost in the woods and you don't know where you are, I'm getting a phone call from California. If you're lost in the woods, the best thing to do is to stay put. That is the correct thing to do.
Light a fire.
If you can.
On the trees.
Put something that is brightly colored up high.
Yeah, it's a good
without risk to yourself, like injury-wise.
Hear me out. If you're going out into the woods, do what I do in Minecraft, which is like put something up on like the left side of the trail you're going on.
There you go.
Don't get lost.
You just like
be smart.
I have you could find it online. Find an Intro to Boy Scouts book
Were you a Boy Scout?
I was.
I think we've talked about this.
And the basic book for toddlers is what you need to survive.
Well,
in the
don't
woods.
talk down to them.
I was in there.
Yeah, look how you turned out.
I want to go camping in the scary abductee forest.
I don't. Not one bit.
All right, I'm getting up.
If you are gonna go out into the woods, though, genuinely, if you're going anywhere, tell your friends. Yeah. Tell your friends. Tell your family. Because whether it's, hey, I'm gonna be here from this day to this day, or just be like, hey, I'll let you know when I make it, and I'll let you know when I'm leaving. Because it could make it easier if something does happen to you. But you could avoid it all by not going in the woods or doing anything in the podcast.
That phone number left me a voicemail.
Oh, man. Can we listen to it?
Yeah. I am going to end the stream. Thank you guys for coming